Excuse me. Yeah, it is. Okay. We're going back to my server for a moment. I'm gonna check something out. And then we're gonna go back to SEPTA. SEPTA. Why is this not working? It's acting as if I don't have any money. Talking about one of my mobile games, Big Farm, Mobile Harvest. While this is loading up, I'm waiting for it. Oh crap. So EEWA looks like they had an update. Okay, well. I need to go in. To my workshops. I was trying to figure out why it wasn't loading up. Because everything else said okay. But if it still hasn't started the load process, even though it looks like everything's okay, scroll down if you've got a certain amount of mod lists, and it'll tell you what's wrong. Then you have to close the game out, go to under your Steam library, then go over to workshops. And then go under browse, then go down to subscribed items. Then go through your, depending on how many mods you have installed. Go look for what you need. Find the atom, click on it, don't click on unsubscribe. Then when the page for it comes up, hit on the subscribe or unsubscribe button. It'll unsubscribe for you. Yeah, they updated this they updated late last night. And hit subscribe. And that should start downloading the add-on again to the new version. And go back to the main page. I'm gonna check this one more time. Oh, there's a new map that's being tested from from NUDITY, called Nordheim. It's in test version only right now, but if you know of NUDITY, that means you know of his Ark Survival Evolved modding. He's one of the Valguero developers, which he basically helped create Valguero for the Ark. Before, I mean, everything that, a lot of things like maps and stuff that are good, the actual game developers will basically buy that mod from them, from the mod developers. Like they bought it from him, Valguero from him, and implemented it into the game. They bought Crystal Isles from a mod from the developers of that mod and implemented it as a regular map for their for the Ark Survival Evolved. And now he's this guy had started Fjordur, which is a Viking style map, even though it's got dinosaurs on it. Viking style map for Ark Survival Evolved. They have yet to pick that up, but who knows? Right now, the developers for Ark Survival Evolved are more concentrating on Ark 2 and the animated series for Ark. Ark 2 is supposedly supposed to be out later this year, as is the animated series. So, but they have, snuck in some stuff that from other mods, little things and stuff like that, and things like that. And I think another additional DLC map for Ark. They have yet to pick his other one up. If this becomes good, we'll see what makers of Conan do. I doubt they'll do anything. They haven't done anything for a long time except for SEPTA. It would be good to see the creators of Conan pick up some of the good mods and implement them into the game, like Ark does. Or the creators of Ark. You would think that they're the same company. They're not. Which to me is, even though that's the one thing about Ark I do like, is they support their modders. They really do. They implement some of the stuff into the game. If the creators of Conan would do that, people would probably play more. Like the glass section for building mod. If they would support and add that in to the game for people to make it look like a greenhouse. If they wanted to make a greenhouse or a conservatory for their buildings, that would be great. But they have yet to do anything with any of the mods that have been put out. And I think that's, even if they would implement some of the Lemurian mods, or take some of the Lemurian building mods, and make it into a way where it blends in to what they already have for the Eastern Lemurian city and the Northern Lemurian city. They're two different ones. They're completely different, but they're Lemurian. You think it's all Nordheimer. It's not. The builds in the north are more Lemurian than Nordheimer. You would think that they would have been more Nordheimer style, but they're not. They're Lemurian. And then you've got your ice caves and stuff like that. See, that's the one thing that didn't make sense. Like, everywhere else you've got ancient and other types of builds, but in the north, it's nowhere close to being northern. It's Eastern Lemurian style. So you've got two different styles of Lemurian, which is really strange. So yeah, that's the one thing that doesn't make sense. You've got Eastern Lemurian build in the north, which should be more northern and Nordheimer builds than Lemurian. Lemurian is more, I would say, East Asia style build. That's what it is. It's Yamati, which is East Asia, which is very strange compared to half the other builds in the area and around the map for their locations. You know, you got Steigen, which is a desert style build. Daub and Wattle style houses, as far as more clayish style homes, from what is more style of a Middle Eastern build, which is what that should look like. But in the north, you've got an East Asia build for some of their builds, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. You know, it really doesn't. So that's the one thing that is out of place when you go up north around the volcano and the bridge to the volcano area. When you've got a Nordheimer build all over the place in the north, above the wall, as far as the dark walls. North of that's the Nordheimer area. You would think there'd be more northern builds as far as what's up there, you know. But anyway, that's just the way it is. I went around the other day when it was having issues with Facebook, because Facebook was being a butt, and actually did some things to the bridge and some other locations. Basically put in, you know, lighting along some areas. So yeah. Let's launch it, see what happens. And it should do another check on mods every time you load. Oh, that's strange. It took it that time for my mobile game. I don't know why it's being a butt. Anyway. And then I'll bring it back to the main screen while this loads up. I just had to force close out my mobile game and restart it. That was the only issue with it. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. So anyway, okay, back to, what I'm doing is I'm checking to see couple of things that I changed on the server. I told y'all I was gonna change it, put some things back on there that he took off. That just irritated me. I don't want the exact same thing that somebody else has and make mine just like theirs. No. That irritates me, that he decides he's going to take over something that I started. I mean, to me, that just irritates me to no end. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do. Now it's gonna go through and check all my add-ons, mods. But anyway, yeah, that's the as far as the mods and the creators go, and the creators of the game. That's the one thing I like about Ark more than I do Conan, is Ark supports their modders. They even sponsor a lot of mods, and change it up depending on what it's for. Hearth, like a Hearth and Home style for Ark was called S+. But they changed it, or it's actually more for PS4 builds, which I thought was really strange. But anyway, that's what that was. And they just they do a lot of things, though. I wish they would. They sponsor them. They should add some into the game, but they didn't give the ability to. Why they gave some of that ability to PS4 and not others for officially, which is strange. So anyway, that's what that is. And I'm waiting. Well, we'll wait and see if I can do this. Bring up the game. I mean, this, and switch over without having issues, but I doubt it. Yeah, because it's loading. Okay. Oh wow. I'll just have to wait. Okay, there we go. In-game scene. So. Oh, it's restarting. does that anytime you go between official servers and modded servers. Sometimes it does it even with modded servers. If you switch between servers. Sometimes even on the same server. I don't know why. It just does. It shouldn't, but it does.
First, they took your family and your riches. Then they took your health and your pride.
So.
Finally, they left you to die.
So, yeah.
What will you do, Exile, when there is nothing left but to live or die?
Okay, thanks for being here.
Now that you've chosen, what will you become?
Personally, I don't. If they would give it over to somebody else who could work on it, that would be great. If I could understand, you know, the engine, Unity, or whatever it's called. If I could understand the engine to mod, I would. But from what I'm finding, to use it online, as far as videos and stuff on how to use it, they're all old. There's nothing to show you how to use the new one. And I know there's no way for me to get the old one to be able to make the new one. I mean, to make stuff with. If someone would make, someone that mods with it, something is unsomething engine. That's what it's called. I can't remember what it is. I've got it downloaded, but anyway, I'm trying to use it. I was trying to use it to make certain maps for Atlas and art. I was going to use it for art too, but everything I was finding was old. There was nothing to tell me how to use the new version, and it didn't make sense. And I'd like to use it to do all of these. I mean, you know, make something